Dear students, in the previous class, we understood why we have to study nuclear chemistry. So now we have a lot of questions in our mind, and many people are Google it. So why nucleus is stable? Why it emits radiation? So what is carbon dating technique? I hope many students are searching the information in the Google. I'm very happy if you went to the Google. Before going to study all those things, you must know some of the basic thing which is necessary in order to understand some of the fundamentals of nuclear chemistry and its applications. So first, you must know nuclear chemistry. Nuclear chemistry, as I said, it's a multidisciplinary branch in science. It mainly going to focus on the radioactive phenomena and nuclear reactions, nuclear transformation which is happen in the nucleus. Before going to that, let me clear one important thing, that is basically there are three changes which are happening in case of matter. One is physical change, chemical change, and nuclear change. So let us consider water. Water exists in three different physical state. That is, if you freeze, it becomes solid. Under normal condition, it is liquid. If you eat, then it becomes vapors. Their water, just physical states is changing, but the structure of water, the basic structure of water and its molecular formula H2O remains same. There is no bond breaking phenomena takes place during freezing and boiling. H2O remains H2O only, only physical state is changing. But if you react the same water with sodium, or if you drop a piece of sodium in water, at that moment you can observe a beautiful hissing sound and uh, evolution of gases. And if you had large amount large piece of sodium, then it catches fire. Then what is happening there? H2O is reacting with NaOH. Sorry, sodium. It is going to give sodium hydroxide base, and so it liberate hydrogen gas. This is chemical change, my dear student. Because if you mix sodium and water, so water is also going to destroy in the reaction. Sodium is also going to destroy in the reaction, and it give a new compound. So having new chemical formula. Before it has Na and H2O, later it gives NaOH. So you please write the reaction while I'm discussing reaction which is happening. So if you add a sodium piece to water, at that moment you are going to get a strong base like sodium hydroxide, plus it liberates hydrogen gas. You know that hydrogen is used as a fuel, because so this is very good combustion. It catches fire. That's why if you okay drop the piece of sodium into water, it catches fire due to this reaction, liberates H2 gas, and it forms a base sodium hydroxide. You can confirm whether it's a base or not by adding a phenolphthalein indicator. If you add a phenolphthalein indicator, it turns pink. It indicates it's a base. So what we can observe from this reaction is this is a chemical change. We understood the physical change. There is no bond breaking and bond making phenomena in that physical change. Only physical state is changing, but the chemical composition of water in all the three physical state is remain same. But in this case, so if this sodium react with water, it gives completely a new molecules with different chemical composition. So here bond breaking phenomena takes place, reaction takes place, and so it gives a new product. So it is different from the reactant. The identity of both reactant and product is different. So this is chemical change. I think you know the distinguish between physical change and chemical change. One more change is there, dear students. So nuclear change. If you consider an atom, so electrons revolving on the nucleus, during chemical change, only the valence electrons are participating in it. But the inner electrons and nucleus are not involved in this or not disturbed. But in case of nuclear change, what happens? The nucleus, the proton, the positive part, and neutron are involved in the reaction. So this is called as nuclear change. But this nuclear change bring lots of changes. So this is not easiest reaction what compared to the normal chemical reaction which is discussed in the laboratory. They they require lots of energy to perform and they emits vast amount of energy. That is called as nuclear change. So I think you know nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion which is happening in the sun and nuclear fission with the okay which is this is usually we are going to carry out in a nuclear reactor not to produce electricity. Nuclear fission breaking and nuclear fusion, that is combining of two nuclei. So this is nuclear change. There's a lot of difference between, you must know the difference between physical change, chemical change and nuclear change. The branch of science chemistry which mainly focusing on the nuclear change, the nuclear reactions which is happening between the nuclei of two atoms or within the atom. So this branch is called as nuclear chemistry. So as I discussed, you know some of the applications, and one important thing here is you just observe this picture. In this picture, so he is going to weighing in this picture. So one weighing balance is there, and in this weighing balance, so the red ball is protons and this one is neutron, the gray color ball. And in this case what happened, this is an atom, it contains two protons and two neutrons, and here also it contains two protons and neutron, but these are individual protons and neutrons. Just imagine we have just taken for atoms two neutrons and two protons. These are isolated, okay, neutrons and proton, but these are in a combined form. This is the nucleus. Just we have taken one, you know, helium. So you know helium, atomic number of helium is 2. Atomic number of helium is 2. Its mass number is 4. That means helium has 2 protons and 2 neutron in its nucleus. If you take one helium nucleus, so this is the helium nucleus in the left side, and in right side we simply took two neutron from isolate two neutron and two proton. If you weigh it, so what we are going to found is the weight of the individual nucleons, that is protons and neutron, is more compared to the weight of the nucleus. So people are worried about this. Why? So here also it contains two protons and two neutron, but here also two protons and neutron, but here the individual masses is greater. The masses of isolated nucleons, isolated protons and neutrons is greater than that of the mass of a nucleus. So this mass difference, let us imagine. So this is okay, m is the mass of isolated nucleus and m dash is the mass of this nucleus. So the difference between this mass is called as delta m. So this is called as mass defect. So mass defect is defined as is the difference between predicted mass of or actual mass of an atom nucleus to actual mass of nucleus to the individual masses of nucleons. So that is it's very simple. That is the mass of a nucleus to the mass of isolated nucleon, it is called as mass. Why this mass defect arises? There is some mass defect. So this mass defect can be calculated with the help of the formula. The mass defect can be calculated with the help of the mathematical relation. So that is here delta m is nothing but is the mass defect. So delta m is nothing but mass defect, and here m is the mass of the nucleus, and see this is this formula z into mh plus a minus z. You know z is the number of protons Z is the number of proton which is present in the nucleus, and A minus Z is the number of, okay, A is the mass number. It includes both protons and neutron. So if you subtract mass number, if you subtract atomic number Z from mass number, you will get number of neutron. And if you multiply number of protons with the mass of one proton, mh is nothing but mass of one proton, you will get total mass of proton. And multiply number of neutron with mass of mn, mn is nothing but mass of neutron, so you will get total mass of neutron. This is the total mass of neutron and total mass of proton. If you combine these, so this is a total mass of proton and neutron. This is the mass of individual proton and neutron I am discussing. That means we simply keep, okay, we simply bring some protons and neutron isolated from an atom nucleus, and we have separately we are weighing, and on the other side we have take a nucleus which is containing same number of protons and neutron which is weighing in on the other side. There I found that the weight is different. So where this is, so weight is different, so the individual mass of nucleus, this is greater than that of mass of a nucleus. So why, so this mass difference is called as mass defect. The next question is, why this mass defect arises? What is the reason behind this? This mass defect arises because during the formation of a nucleus from nucleons, that is protons and neutrons, while combining, they form nucleus. While forming nucleus, they liberate some amount of energy. So this energy, the liberated energy is nothing but it is the converted form of energy from mass. And some amount of mass here converted into energy. That some amount of mass is nothing but mass defect. So because of this here, some amount of mass is converted into energy. So this energy is used to bind the nucleus. So that's why this energy is called as binding energy. So before going to discuss binding energy, so let us calculate the mass defect of deuterium, isotope of hydrogen. If if you take hydrogen, the special property of hydrogen is contain only one electron and one proton. It does, the hydrogen doesn't have a neutron. This is special form. That's why if you remove electron from an hydrogen, so it is called as H plus ion. H plus ion is nothing but protons. So this is hydrogen. And to the hydrogen, if you add neutron, then it becomes deuterium. This is the isotope, that is, so 1H1. So this is deuterium, and so 2H1 deuterium and 1H1, that is same atomic number, different mass number. So these are called as isotope. So deuterium is a isotope of hydrogen. If you, so let us now calculate the mass defect of deuterium atom. Here the mass of deuterium nuclei is so 2.0141 AMU, and so now I am going to take the individual masses. So this is the mass of proton and mass of water. So this is neutral charge and mass of electron. The total mass of the individual nucleons is 2.016490 AMU, and this is the mass of an whole atom. So there is a difference. If you take the difference, so you will get this difference. This difference is called as mass defect. So where this mass is lost, or how this difference in mass appears. This mass loss is due to this, some amount of mass is converted into energy. That energy is responsible for binding to nucleus. So that energy is called as binding energy. So next let us discuss binding energy.